What makes it successful is, first of all, of course, good planning, recognizing that there's a lot of value at stake, and therefore investing properly in planning out the steps in the process, working out the resources you require, and investing in it in the way that I think organizations often don't, because the way they put through big price increases and small price increases should be very different. The second thing is segment your customers. So we advocate using two dimensions here. One of them is thinking about the scale of the impact of the move on the customers, therefore the level of risk that it presents, but also the importance of that customer to you. So you very often may have very large customers, medium or small customers. And if you take those two dimensions and create a matrix, you very rapidly see that how you treat them, how much time you invest in that process, is different, but there's also a bunch of tools that you've got in your armory. Not only is it about a price change, but it's also what you do with discounts for a lot of people. You can also make product changes, but it's also about which channel do you use to get to them, and how much time do you invest, and what's the communication you provide. So segment your base and think about those alternatives and use them within your base. But then in terms of execution, if you can, pilot the moves, because you learn a lot from that. And it's wonderful at creating advocates. If you can deliver it in a small microcosm with some of your sales team, and they see that it can work, they then become your best advocates, and the rest of the sales team will listen to them ahead of anyone else. Secondly, make sure you've got a lot of tools for people. So that means, what are the concessions that they might give? What are the objections that they might receive? What are the scripts that you need to develop in terms of how you land the message, and potentially creating forums for the sales team? So, essentially giving the sales team the tools they need. And then the last thing I'd say is think about how you're going to communicate this price change. Are you going to communicate it broadly and clearly to people, or are you going to do it through a series of moves where essentially people find out through their own particular communication? Those would be the key things I'd emphasize.